Now, listen. Tell us about Sting and your yoga, and can you make it like maybe 20 seconds or less?
Okay.
All right.
I was in Sydney, staying at the old Siebel townhouse, eating my breakfast by the pool. A gentleman came up with a yoga mat and looking around to do some yoga.
Right. And did he ask you which way was east? No.
That's interesting. No, he didn't.
No.
I was sitting there. He said, "Do you mind if I do some yoga?" And
how did he say it?
A bit like that. That wasn't very good, was it?
No.
Anyway, he and I went, "I think that's Sting."
Yeah.
And he was there with a friend of his. And anyway, they started to do a very good execution of a high level of yoga. And I'm sitting there. Eating my breakfast.
Yeah, and they were doing it naked, or
no? They were in a loose-fitting clothing.
Yes.
On a mat,
right.
And right at my feet, basically.
Yes.
We got to chatting, and he said, "Look, well, when you finished your breakfast, why don't you pop down and
join us?"
Yeah. I'm not setting up for a joke here. This is all true.
When you said pop down, like get onto the floor.
I was on a lounge, lying back on a lounge eating my breakfast.
When he said pop down, he meant pop down on the floor.
Pop down on the floor.
Right. Okay. Right. What time of the day was this?
This is about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Okay. It wasn't 2 o'clock in the morning. No. Okay.
It feels like I'm being in the box. And then anyway, so now why I did the next bit, I'm not sure why I did, but anyway, I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and I thought, well, I can't do it in my jeans. What I will do, because I can't move properly. Are you remembering this?
Yeah.
I decided to remove my trousers and just do it in my underwear and I'm thinking, well, it's not dissimilar to a pair of. Is it?
No.
I was.
Were they clean? Were they clean?
Yes, they were. That was anyway. So I'm standing there
because
your
mum used to tell you always wear clean underwear because you never know you might get hit by a bus or being asked to do yoga with Sting.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the old saying. Anyway, the t-shirt was hanging very low, so I was in safe hands, so to speak. Now, there's a certain move that you do in yoga. I'm cutting this short. Yeah. There's a certain move you'll do, which I'll do for you now.
Right. Okay.
Where you stand and you put your hands on your knees like that.
Yeah.
And then you get a wave through.
Bianca, could you look away, please?
You get instead of getting a wave going up and down on your stomach like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Man.
You get it to go across that way.
Right.
Okay. Now, Sting pulled up his shirt and said, "Watch this." So he started doing the stomach wave from east to west, not north to south.
From left to right.
From left to right.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So he then he said, well, so we did a few moves, and then we got round to that move, and he said, "See if you can do it."
Right.
So I was standing there with my hands on my knees.
Yes. In your underpants.
In my underpants.
In a hotel.
No, up by the pool at the Siebel townhouse. And I was trying to get the wave going through my stomach. Sting couldn't see whether I was getting it or not.
And that, Your Honour, is where Glen rests his case.
He then got down and lifted up my T-shirt and peered up under. So he was on his knees with my T-shirt lifted up, peering up into my stomach, Your Honour. And at that point, the concierge came around the corner and saw Sting appearing to do something that was rather inappropriate. I'm sure he went back to the reception and said, "I've just seen Uncle Arthur and Sting doing something that we better call the police up by the pool." So anyway, that is my Sting story. It is true, and if I write a biography, that'll go in it.
Oh, right.
Now he buys every Sting album he can.
Yes. Don't stand so close to me. There you go.
It would have been better if it had been Jane Fonda, wouldn't it?
Yes, well, yeah, she's
more fun.
Jane Fonda. Oh, someone a bit younger, Phil. I mean, Jane Fonda might be okay for somebody your age.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, that's very, very, very funny story.
It's a lovely story, yeah.
No, it was good. I'm surprised you didn't remember that, Phil.
Well, that's too polite to say I had. How often have you had to tell that story? Is it part of your floor show?
It's part of my floor show. I finish with that. Then I do a couple of numbers by Sting and close the show. And then I get down on all fours and reenact the moment, and we go to a break.